Hi guys, it's Kelly from Cards by Christine here with you on a Technique Thursday to share with you the storefront technique. Now, I am kind of following up on last week's last week's clear card technique that featured a window sheet. So that was this one. And it really got me inspired because I love window sheets and how many unique uses that they have. So I was gazing through Chris and all of her beautiful creations, and I was like, oh my god, this storefront card obviously uses a window sheet. So this is one of the June monthly cards, and I'm going to show them all off in just a little bit, but I wanted to show you how you can create this beautiful storefront using a window sheet. And it's so funny because last week for the card I used the stitched rectangle dies, and I used them a little uniquely as well, where you nestle two inside of each other to create this frame. Well, just like we're using the window sheets again, we're using the stitched rectangles again here, and actually again in a unique way. So this time it's not at all about the stitched rectangle that you cut out, it's about the piece that you cut the stitched rectangle out of. So here you've got that piece, and actually on the card itself, once it's die cut, you run it through the brick and mortar to give it that really storefront feel. But this piece has not quite been through that process yet. And I just wanted to share with you a couple ways that you can create this storefront. So you would go ahead and cut out a piece of window sheet that is approximately 2 3/4 by, let's say 4 inches to give you the piece to fill in here. And I'm going to only temporarily do this due to the nature of these pieces are going to be part of someone's kit. So I don't want to ruin it for anyone. But what we've got here, so flip it over. Usually there's not much of a difference between the front and the back, but on the back you'll see some kind of roughage from the cutting plates from the die cutting machine. Sorry, that just was a little dramatic there. So you're going to flip it to the back, and then there's a couple ways that you can do this, and I'm going to show you 2 ways on how you can make the magic happen. You can either take Scotch tape and go ahead and tape it. Obviously being careful about not having the Scotch tape hanging over where you can see. These window sheets are literally crystal clear, so you can see anything. So you can go ahead and do that. I really like to say, use what you have. And I like to use, for something like this, I would maybe use a piece of tear and tape. But if you don't have tear and tape, go ahead and use Scotch tape. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So that is one way. I'm going to lift that up and show you the other way that I would say you could do it, which is with tear and tape. And honestly, I resisted buying tear and tape for years, several years. Now I use it all the time. It is so useful to have for ribbon, something like this. We used tear and tape last week for the window card. It's like I'm making the same card and they look nothing the same. It's just a lot of the same materials. So what I would do is go ahead and take some tear and tape and put it along. And I'm actually going to bring in a different piece because I don't want to utilize this piece because I know Chris had a certain number cut out by one of her fabulous helpers. So I'm going to bring in this piece, not near as pretty, but bear with me as I'm trying to be conservative of the resources that she has in process prepped for the class. And that brings me to a good point. If you are interested in this card or any of the cards I'm about to show you, it is from the June monthly class, and I will give you more details about that. So when you go ahead and put a piece of tear and tape around the perimeter, however you want, you can either go all the way around the perimeter, you can do the corners, you can put smaller pieces, whatever works best for you and your game plan of how you utilize your materials. But then you can line up your piece of acetate or window sheet along the edge push it down with either your fingernail or your bone folder to give it a nice crisp seal on that tear and tape, and then flip it over, and just the same way as you would, sorry, I've got a very big piece of window sheet here, just like you would with the Scotch tape, and it just works. Really, there's no right or wrong way to do it. It's the back side, you're not going to see it anyways, so my suggestion is use what you have, but it creates this really beautiful storefront, and you'll see here that Chris uses, I'm going to try to go slowly here so you can catch it, a dimensional behind to elevate it off the background where we've got the chocolates in the storefront. Beautiful display. So I love this card. It's so kind of cheeky, as I would say. And then the other cards that are in this June monthly class. Love it so much. We've got little card, big things with the beautiful red flowers. And then we've got this through thick and thin, count me in with the cute koalas here. Love, love, love it. These cards are the June monthly cards. If you want more information on how to make these cards along with Chris, go ahead and find cardsbychrisb.com. That's her website. And go to, along the top, there's an events tab. That'll bring you to her events calendar. All of her card classes are published there. Some of them are in person, some of them are kits that you can do online for the Facebook Live, or always reach out to her. Chris has some of the best customer service I've ever worked with. You can reach her at her phone number here, call, text, reach out to her in whatever way you are most comfortable with, and she is more than happy to help you out. So, I hope you enjoyed learning how to use a window sheet to create a storefront technique. A lot of really cool things that you can do with the window sheets, and a lot of really cool things that you could feature in your storefront. So, I hope you had a great Technique Thursday, and you can catch Chris later tonight for some live card making.